I'm going to show you how easy it is to assemble. And the great part is that thanks to these kits, half the work is already done for you. Now, I recommend when you're using cuddle fabric that you pair it with something else. And flannel is something pretty typical that you can do. And I'm going to show you a couple of different ways that you can assemble these kits. So what you're going to do, and I have one already made here, is you can do layers of flannel in between the cuddle fabric. So all I did is I took a couple of flannel, a couple pieces of flannel, 10 inches, cut to the same size, and I sandwiched them in between two pieces of cuddle. Now, a couple things you need to be aware of when you assemble this is you need to pay attention to the nap of the cuddle. See how it goes that way and it's rough that way? Well, when you flip it over, you want it to be the same way. So straight this way, rough that way. That way, when you assemble your squares together, it's all going in the same direction. See? All the same direction. So you want to be aware of the direction or nap of your cuddle when you're putting it together. So this is one way. All you do is you put a couple squares of flannel in between. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew right across that. And I'm going to show you a little trick that you can do with a walking foot that makes it really easy. Sew it in an X and you've got your square. And will be a pretty warm blanket. This is actually two of these kits together to make this blanket. So this would be on the warm side with the two pieces of cuddle together. Another little trick I'm going to show you is notice how I have a multi paired with a multi. It's not the exact same pattern. It's different, so it mixes it up. But I have a green paired with a green. This will make it really easy when we're putting it together. So you don't, when you're doing the front and the back, you know that you've got, you'll have a green next to a multi on both sides, and it'll make it so much easier to put together. All right, so that's one way of doing it. Another way you can do it is that you can pair just one piece of cuddle with just the flannel. So you have cuddle on one side and you have flannel on the other. And this is a great way to do it. So if you decide to add a piece of batting to it or polyfill, whatever you want to call it, you're actually going to cut this within the seam allowance. So I have a 10-inch square and I'm using a 3/4 inch seam allowance. This will need to be 8.5 inches. So it's going to be 10 inches minus the 3/4 seam allowance twice on each side. So 10 inches minus 3/4 minus 3/4, so that is 1.5 inches. And so 10 minus 1.5 inches is 8.5 inches. And so what I would do is I would just build it that way. Now if you want the rag part to be really thick and full, you're going to add a couple more squares of flannel just to make it really, really full and rich. Or you can just do one square of flannel if you want to make it a little bit lighter and you don't worry and you're not too concerned about how much ragging is showing. Okay? And then again, we're going to sew an X across each square and then we're going to assemble it together. A couple things to pay attention depending on how you're doing it. I told you the trick of when I was assembling these of pink with pink. However, when it comes to this one, it's going to be a little different depending on what color flannel you have on the other side. What you'll need to do is you'll need to plan out your quilt. You're going to need to plan out your front and your back so it looks all nice, and then you're going to pin it and put it together.